no, this is cool. Ooh, I like this. I like this bird here.
Commissioner Sanchez, can you please unmute yourself?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody broke mine.
There we go.
No, it's on.
Or they were fighting last night.
Okay, welcome everybody to the May 6th, 2025 meeting of the Orland Park and Plan Commission. If you all would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll start, of course, with our roll call. Commissioner Sanchez.
I'm here.
And I'm Chairman Parisi. Vice Chairman Schuessler. Here. Commissioner Paul. Here. Commissioner Zamparelli.
Here.
Commissioner Zatar. Here. And Commissioner Nugent.
Here.
We've all had an opportunity ahead of this to review the minutes of the April 15th meeting. And I would entertain a motion to either approve or approve as corrected.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah. Commissioner Schuessler, just talk a little louder.
I move to approve the meeting minutes of Tuesday, April 15th, 2025.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Schuessler, seconded by Commissioner Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you. Just a couple things. First of all, thanks everybody for being here. But also, generally what we do, we will, when we have the hearing, we'll go to the petitioner, then we'll go to staff, and then we go to the public. Is anybody from the, not part of, anybody from the public here for this meeting? Okay. Okay. And, okay, so after the staff goes, we'll see if anybody from the public wants to speak. If somebody wants to speak, they have to come up to this microphone, the podium, because it's a recorded meeting. And that's about it, you know? And we will answer any questions you have. And if you're from the public, that's your opportunity to say what you need to say, and then it comes over to us, okay? Okay. I move that we open public hearing number 2024-0807, Fernway Park Elementary School expansion, special use permit for a school.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Dan. Okay. Would the petitioner like to make a presentation? By the way, anybody who comes up here, you raise your right hand, you're going to get sworn in. So if anybody, well, we'll take individually, that's all right.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you present tonight will be the truth and nothing but the truth? If so, please say, "I do."
I do.
Thank you.
Raise the microphone.
Yeah, just your name and address for the records.
Yes, Donald Manhard.
Okay?
Yeah, so we're here to present expansion to Fernway Park Elementary School.
And you are?
Donald Manhard.
I know, but what's your position?
Oh, Manhard Consulting, I apologize.
Manhart what?
Consulting?
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We're here to present a expansion to Fernway Park Elementary School. This is just an addition at the southwest corner of the school, and additional in parking lot improvements along with the school addition.
Okay? And obviously, you've talked with staff, and you've seen the recommendations and everything, and any objections or anything?
No. no
Okay,
objection.
good. I mean, I know you folks were up before us before, and this is, seems to be a more contained project. You're not knocking buildings down.
Right,
Okay. Okay. So I'll go over to staff. Oh, yes.
Okay, so I'd like to begin by entering the staff report into the record, or requesting that it's entered into the record. And I do have one minor correction on the staff report, and it's only the ones that were printed out for the commissioners. The correct case number is 2024-0807. It was just a typo before the packets were published. So the purpose of this petition is to consider a special use permit to allow for the expansion of Fernway Park Elementary School, and to consider a modification for a reduction in the amount of required plantings within the landscape corridor between the building and the south edge of the property, so O'Brien Drive. The comprehensive plan dedicates this parcel as community and institutional, as the property is currently being utilized as a school. So the property is surrounded by Orland Hills on the north, south, and east sides of the property, and Orland Park's west side of the property, and then Orland Park is located to the east. All surrounding properties are zoned single-family residential, and that's both in Orland Park's zoning ordinance and Orland Hills. So on screen's a graphic showing the proposed expansion of the school. So the dark blue area is the existing building, and the light blue area is what's been proposed. And the plans include a new gymnasium and 3 new classrooms. So outside of the proposed building footprint changes, the site plan is generally the same as it currently sits today, except there are some improvements to pedestrian accessibility on site, as well as an underground stormwater management system in the southeast corner of that parking lot. And then once that's installed, the parking configuration will remain the same. So for the proposed landscape plan, the east half of the landscape plan includes new parkway trees along O'Brien Drive, foundation plantings along the front of the school, and additional landscaping to screen the mechanical equipment on site. Over on the west side of the landscape plan, the petitioner is requesting a modification to the special use, which would allow for reduction in the required amount of trees within that landscape corridor, which is basically the area from the building, in between the building and O'Brien Drive. And the reason for that is there's an existing blacktop pavement there for the playground, and there's an existing parking area on site. And staff supports this modification because the petitioner still exceeds the number of trees required on site, except they're just located outside of that corridor area. So here are the proposed building elevations. So in addition to the expanded area, which is shown over on, this is the south elevation. In addition to the expanded school area, the front facade on the east elevation will be refreshed, updated. There'll be new canopies added to the main entrances, as well as new signage. The proposed height of the new gymnasium is 30 feet, which it does meet the intent of our land development code. It's the top of the line for the R2A zoning district. So there are some public improvements proposed. They were requested by staff as part of the special use permit. So the picture on the left shows the sidewalk additions along 88th Avenue in front of the school. The sidewalk will extend around the existing trees on site, and crosswalks will be added at the intersection of O'Brien Drive and 88th Avenue. And then the picture on the right is the north side of the school property, which eliminates that mid-block crossing, didn't meet any ADA requirements. The striping just kind of went across the street, but there was actually no sidewalk from the crosswalk to the bike path over there. So a new crosswalk's proposed along 163rd Street and 88th Avenue. And a platted dedication is proposed for the right-of-way along 88th Avenue, and that's just to align the property with the existing adjacent parcels to the north and south. A condition was added to this case that the school district will work with the village on an agreement to allow their existing ground sign to remain in the same place unless it's broken or removed. Any new proposed sign on site will have to be relocated further west onto the petitioner's property. And this is just because the existing sign, it's after the dedication, it will be technically in the right-of-way, but there's actually no changes to that area of the site. And for the staff recommended action, staff recommends approval of the site plan, the landscape plan, building elevations, and the special use permit for a school, subject to the conditions listed on screen. And the first four are standard conditions for most special use permits. And then the fifth one is for the condition for the intergovernmental agreement that would allow the existing ground sign to remain in place. Additionally, staff recommends approval for the modification to reduce the number of required landscaping amounts within the corridor on the south end of the expansion. And the bottom over here is the staff recommended motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody from the public have a question? Please step up to the microphone. By the way, thank you both for coming. It's much appreciated. Wait, we got to swear you in. You have to be sworn in like everybody. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you present tonight will be the truth and nothing but the truth? If so, please say I do.
Yes.
So can I have your name and address, please?
Jeanette Casalino.
Casalino?
Yes.
Okay, and your address?
8925 Dwight Court.
Pull the mic down.
Sorry. Hello.
Okay,
There you go.
Okay.
okay, how can we help you?
We just had questions because I'm sure you probably remember from last time us being here.
Yes.
We're the corner house, pretty much where all like we're in the cul-de-sac in that corner, that northwest corner. And so the way I see it, it doesn't affect the back, what we would call the back there, correct? Most of it's south, correct?
Correct, yes. So everything's to the south and to the east of the property.
Okay, and then that would still stay more grassland for the kids to play or whatever they use it for?
Correct, yeah, there's no changes to the west half.
Okay, we just want to make sure no buses were coming through, like
No,
some of the
good.
plans before, like the school being pushed back and
This is the time, so thank you.
correct?
That's correct, yes, and I
Okay.
could pull up.
And then you said they were going to put some sewer thing into underground?
That would be in the southeast corner, like the underground
that'll
stormwater.
help.
Yeah, under the parking lot.
Okay, yeah, which is fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
that's all I just get concerned about flooding and,
as you should.
okay.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you present tonight will be the truth and nothing but the truth? If so, please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Your name and address, please?
I am Brandy Caffarelli, 16560 Maryland Court. So my backyard is currently right about where the current park is. So my question is on the drainage, you said the southeast corner. Is the current park that's there going to be moved? And is that where the drainage is going to be affected?
I'll defer for the drainage question.
You have to swear 'em in.
Yeah.
My name is Andrew Anola, sorry.
Sorry, let's start with the oath. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you present tonight will be the truth and nothing but the truth? If so, please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
And,
My name is Andrew Anellis. I also work with Manhart. I'm the design civil engineer for this plan. So that southeast corner, we're not gonna touch anything. So it'll stay exactly like it always has been. We're not sending any extra water there. Everything will stay exactly the same. We're only kind of changing anything in that southeast corner.
So where the current park is staying.
Exactly the same.
That's all I needed to know.
well, thank you.
Perfect.
And
Am I
thank
good?
you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Just real quick, to clarify.
Yeah, but we'll go to our commissioners now, and we'll start by recognizing Commissioner Zatar.
Thank you. You said, Maryland Court? Yeah. And then you said southeast corner?
Please speak.
You said, she said Maryland Court, correct? You said southeast corner? Okay, she's asking about the south.
Northeast corner.
She's not talking about the east corner, right? She's talking about, like, let me see,
She lives on the northeast corner.
northeast corner, yeah, sorry. that's right.
Maryland is like 88th Court. So she would back up to the existing playground on the north end.
We'll get to you.
Correct?
Yes, sorry, she's northeast.
Okay, gang, one at a time here. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was just gonna.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the park, if you're looking at the top right corner of the plan, that remains as is. And
Okay.
yeah, just for clarification.
No, I appreciate that. You have anything else, Joe?
Well, if there's other comments from the crowd, I'll wait for them. I just wanted to make sure they were answering the right question.
Yeah.
So I know there's another group of people here. I'm not sure if they wanted to talk.
No, I think, is anybody else from the public wanted to say anything?
Oh, you're with the school district.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll ask my question. So, I do remember these, I do remember a project that came before us for this location. I don't remember these building plans, so maybe a recap of that project? That was the drainage project, so that's separate from this project, I think. And then, if I'm right, is that done?
That project was actually to knock down the school and build an entirely new school. And that's what all the drainage concerns came from neighbors a few years back. But that project was canceled. by the
Canceled.
petition.
This project replaces that project?
Correct.
And all the same underground storage plans are built into this plan?
This is a much smaller scope, yeah.
Oh, smaller scope. Okay. We had, and the woman on the left, I didn't hear her name. Her concern is also my concern very much. She said she received the letter just today. And we've had this issue in the past where people are notified after the meeting. So what is the staff doing to get the notifications, certification responses from the post office before we have these meetings? Because I remember last time Orland Hills Public Works was here and had a lot of comments going on.
Yeah, so for projects, staff does not send out the letter. I received the affidavit from the petitioner, I believe, maybe 20 days ago.
So you have certifications from everyone?
Certificate of mailing.
When people are getting these letters late, maybe we need to consider moving to certified mail.
So we,
That's a whole, because this is not the first meeting we've had that comment.
that's correct.
So
It's
I don't
not-
want to go into it today, but that's my response, is like, I get really anxious when I hear someone from the crowd saying, I never was told, or I just got told this morning. So that's a comment. I don't really need, I mean, we don't have to hash it out, but
Yeah, just one response to that is that we did switch from certified mail to the certificate of mailing, which the petitioner would go to the post office and get a stamp on a piece of paper that states that how many letters they dropped off, who they were going to. and
I hear you. I just,
Yeah.
my comment is, I don't think it's working. We might want to go back to certified mail so we can actually have physical proof that people got notified. And then more importantly on this topic, my question is, was the Orland Hills Engineering Department re-engaged on this project? Because on the last project, they had a lot of concerns.
There's actually no drainage issues going towards Orland Hills with the scope of this work,
Were they involved at all?
not to my knowledge.
You have to speak in, because they record the meeting, you have to talk in the microphone. I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't mean to. Okay, thank you.
I just opened my mail today at 5:30 when I got home from work, and that's when I got the letter. I asked any neighbors, none of them in the cul-de-sac did receive it. So, and I couldn't even get a hold of the town to find out anything.
So, okay, so my concern is that last time we had a meeting on this project, we had a huge room of people that were saying those two cul-de-sacs get flooded, and any project on this footprint is gonna flood them even more. And Orland Hills Engineering was here and asked to be involved in any project that comes on this property. So, from my perspective, we should be engaging Orland Hills water department engineering team just to make sure that they don't have concerns. I mean, these people live 50 feet away, right? So that's all my comments.
Thanks, Joe.
Mr. Chairman?
One moment, please. I see, was it Brandy? You had another question? I wanted, you took the trouble to come out here. I wanted to give you an opportunity.
It was just the comment. I verified that the sign was put up, but no one in the 3 cul-de-sacs that I know of that were here last time knew of the meeting either. So I know quite a few who we live in Orland Hills. I understand it's very small. Do not drive past the school on the sign. So.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Manhart?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to the drainage of the site. We're following existing conditions and adding the detention basin, which is obviously meant to alleviate issues like this, but it's also all flowing towards Orland Park, not Orland Hills in this case, so.
Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to direct it to my fellow commissioners. Commissioner Paul?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The big difference was last time we were going to, if I'm not mistaken, we were going to build a new school behind the existing school, which would obviously change a lot of things as far as water management. And then, if I'm not mistaken, after that school was complete, then the old school was going to be taken down. Is that right? Okay, that's how I remember it. What's good about this project is where the addition is going, it's almost all paved right now. There's a play lot there. It's blacktopped. So there's some grass patches here and there, but by and large, it's all impervious now. So this isn't gonna really change anything as far as where the water's gonna go. Most of the concerns, again, if I remember correctly from last time, were at the west end of the project, behind the school. Nothing is being changed there. This is gonna be southeast of the actual building. And like I said, there's nothing there but blacktop right now. A couple of parking spots in the play area. That's it. So I don't see where this is gonna be an issue. I do like the idea of making it more accessible in the front. If there can be an agreement with that on the street, I think that can be worked out pretty easily. Other than that, I have no other issue with that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, John. Commissioner Zamparelli?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, it's funny. That was about 2 years ago you guys were here. I remember the water issue on the northwest spot, and the resident that had the sewer that runs through it Orland Hills didn't size it up right. That's nothing here. No, we're not doing anything with that, right?
That's not being impacted with this.
But they still have a flooding problem back there, don't they? I mean, shouldn't we figure that in?
They addressed it last time.
I know, they did, but the whole thing got knocked out, kiboshed. Go ahead, tell me what you're going to say.
So I was gonna wait my turn, but technically there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cul-de-sacs, but 89 Court doesn't really count. The people on O'Brien were mostly concerned about traffic. I'll bring that up on my turn. But last time, out of the 5 cul-de-sacs, there were representatives from 4 of the cul-de-sacs, and they filled the room. But one of the things we learned with engineering, it predates you, I think, though, the engineering then, was that actually the last improvement, whatever that was, 5, 10 years ago, the district people would know, we had already made it better. So any existing issues that were here already got improved the last time you guys did a modification in the past. And our engineering was able to confirm, even though Orland Hills Public Works was here, is that all the issues that the 5 cul-de-sacs were complaining about were unrelated to the property, and it has to do with their own design. Unfortunately, Orland Hills designed with a lot of short lots, but I remember this extremely clearly. But these cul-de-sacs in with their backs has a poor design. They should have planned it where all of their drainage are going to what is eventually where the people on
Further, it should be going.
Leslie Drive and then their cul-de-sac, the water is supposed to be going that way. You got the detention pond, where is now Kelly Park, and water's supposed to go to Tinley Creek. It ain't doing it. It's not the school's fault, it's not Orland Park's engineering fault, and if anything, Fernway's past projects improved it. But for the people that live on Marilyn, Bridget, Sharon, Dwight, and Beacon, the problems in the back have to do with the design from 30-plus years ago. It has nothing to do with Fernway Park School. So, and I had a conversation for like 40 minutes with our engineering staff at that time, and we'd covered it. And the past projects, Fernway had already made improvements which improved it. If anything, they're taking their water from their east, including the northeast, is going this way. So the school, even though they're doing nothing now, has A, no obligation to it, but B, they are not the cause of any water issues. The experience is all 100% Orland Hills contained outside of the school. I'm just telling you from that before, and I thought it was important. We filled the room, we had standing people. The problem is by the end, probably 80% of those people had left the meeting, and they didn't wait to hear questions. So I just wanted to share my
That's fine,
experience.
fine, thank you, I remember that.
Thank you, Mr. Nugent.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yeah, well, yeah, basically, I remembered that the school district had offered, because basically Leslie Drive, they're dumping on to the retention pond. I remember that clearly, all right? The water from those homes is dumping in, and they kind of corked it. And the school said that they would put a drain back there. Wasn't that the conversation?
I don't recall the actual drainage from several years ago, but I do know that previously with that project, we were impacting that area, so that's why it was being addressed at that time. But with this scope of work, we're not impacting that area.
Right, we have
so
no
we're
reason
not
to be there.
addressing it.
No reason to be over on that side.
Exactly.
But they've still got a little bit of an issue, correct? Oh, you have to
Just
talk to
speak
the
in the
microphone.
microphone, please.
You get good at that by the end.
And this is not, I don't have little kids, but if I had little kids or kids were playing at that school, for sure, that retention pond's still sitting water, the one right behind there, and I don't know whose fault is, it didn't flood until about 10 years ago. They didn't have water in there, but I don't know why it sits, but it is concerning with the school,
Well, what
why
the
it doesn't drain within,
The engineer said they put too small of a pipe that runs through the
can they
neighborhood
fix
between
it?
the homes.
Either,
She's
yeah.
talking about the detention on Fernway Park School property.
Yeah,
You're
it
talking
is.
about the drains outside the school property.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I just don't like the sitting water for kids. That's what I
The
mean,
Fernway Park side or your backyard side?
it's in the back of Fernway, which would be Orland Park, correct? Whose retention pond is that?
You talking the northwest corner?
Yes,
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
yeah, I mean, that water never drains for,
Yeah, see, that's,
Is it retention or detention?
I'm probably using the wrong word.
you're right.
And is it supposed to go eventually to Tinley Creek or because it's all going north, isn't it? Well, no, wait. She is.
I know.
Can you please speak in the microphone?
You're talking about that, like depressional area in the northwest corner. Yes, right there. So that is, it was designed well before me, but my understanding is that it's a dry basin that will gradually drain over time, and then that drains to Lake Lauren, which is up in the very top. Yes. So that goes there.
And there was supposedly a pipe that was
Undersized by Orland Hills. Yes.
nothing we can do about it.
Nothing we can
Orland
do
Hills.
at this point, no.
Right.
Okay, I just want to clarify, but we're not doing anything with this, but there's really not a whole lot we could do with it.
I was looking forward. So you're saying this ties into here?
Yes.
Right, and that's part of the design, because then if you enlarge it past it, Tinley Creek is on the other side of those homes. And that's also meant to be drainage as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tie into Tinley Creek, right?
Okay, I'll finish up because I don't mean to make
Okay.
this a big fuss. However, I wanted the residents to know that we kept it, their best interest at heart. There's not a whole lot we can do because we're not on that side. It's an Orland Hills undersized pipe, okay? But I want to talk about Joe. Joe, it's funny about the mailing. Yeah. I just got, and I don't think it's the petitioner, I think it's the mail. I just got an invite from my office today for awards for February 21st.
For what?
Yeah.
For what?
2 months, I'm over 2 months old, late. So I think it's our mail,
Okay.
So I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to consider the way we used to do it. I love the idea of getting away from the registered letters, but, or certified, however we did it. But I think if people aren't getting it, there was a nice crowd here last time and they need to know and voice their opinion. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. John, do you have anything else?
So only in respect to the people on O'Brien who weren't here, there was a lot of concern and they said they would address it. But so right now, I know it's not all here, but I'm speaking for the people that voiced their concern. All the buses are going to come from 167 to go to O'Brien, or are they going to come from 88th to O'Brien? There was probably 5 families from O'Brien that felt that your addition was going to cause traffic hell for them.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you present will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, you do.
Name and address, please.
Margaret Gorey with Shria Architecture. We're located in Burr Ridge, Illinois.
So I'm not seeing that, and I know it's traffic study, and I know we're not doing additions, we're doing a remodeling, but it's fair to the people. Yeah, but it's fair to the people of O'Brien. They seem to really be concerned how the traffic is now and where it was going to be. So how do buses come and how do parent drop-offs happen? Are they coming from 88th or 167?
So the traffic will stay the same as it is right now. So they come off of 88th Avenue, the buses will come off 88th Avenue, come in the front of the school, so front parking lot, and then leave off 88th Avenue. Cars, however, do come in the front parking lot, east side, and the south side off of O'Brien. So they split the alphabet between, different groups of families. So basically, everything's staying exactly the same as it is right now.
Still, no buses are gonna go down O'Brien.
Correct.
And the cars come from 88th, the way it is right now, and they're gonna go down O'Brien and exit to the west.
Correct. Since it's a one-way.
Okay. And I guess, so with the improved front, that's gonna encourage more traffic in the front rather than O'Brien?
The renovations in the front is just a facelift. So we're just adding a new canopy at the front entrance.
No, I meant the parking or the drop-off. Is that changing?
Nothing's changing up front. It's exactly the same. We're adding 188 parking stall by the main entrance, but
So
same
people
drop off
kinda
and pickup.
Said, sorry to cut you off, it transitioned like during COVID with parents wanting to drop off their kids. But, so parents can still, everyone who wants to drive their kid can still drive their kid and they have to drop them off on O'Brien, right?
They split it from the front of the school and the side of the school off of O'Brien. So A through G is at the front of the school and H through Z is in the back half off O'Brien.
Twice a day during the school year for 8 months.
Correct.
And it's just life for those people.
It's exactly the same in the morning and the afternoon as it is right now.
And over time, more people have been dropping off their kids than in the way past.
I mean, there's no change right now in the number of buses that I can see. Same population of kids, same number of families. It could be more, but it depends on who drives.
Well, you guys said that the rental complex at 94th Avenue has not been a dramatic increase in enrollment. Well, that's not there, that's for them. But so one of the things I was gonna ask, since we're drastically changing the school, and I don't know if it's you or them, and I'm only concerned because if we're talking about issues now, we're saying, oh, it doesn't happen now because we're not doing this. Are we doing an addition we can afford? And I know this is a school district issue. Are we doing an addition that we need? Because my question in asking that, and how it's pertinent to today, is this going to be where in 6 years you're coming back with another addition, and now we're going to have to readdress drainage, parking, and all that? So is this the addition you can afford or the addition you need?
We need it because the number of classrooms, we're adding 3 classrooms, so that helps alleviate other areas for like, special services. So they have different speech offices, different things that we're kind of renovating, and we're gaining 3 classrooms so that we can make sure the population is fulfilled.
So what you were going to do in the new, you're still doing? You're going to bring the kids, some kids that don't currently go here with the special services are going to come here? still?
Not special services, just within the school, we needed more space for different like speech services and things like that. And then the growing population, we need 3 classrooms to make sure that different grade levels that need 3 classrooms will have 3 classrooms.
What's the chances this addition is not enough and the district's going to add on again?
Would you
No one
repeat
knows
that,
the
John?
future.
Quick.
So the new school was going to be significantly more.
Yes.
And so my concern is if they're only doing an addition they can afford and not an addition they need, they're going to come back and do an addition again, additional addition. And then now we're going to have the same issues with parking, drainage, and all that. So do you anticipate a need for another addition in the next 5 to 10 years?
We don't know the population, so the answer is we don't know if we need it or not.
You got the rental complex, so, okay. Because the room was full and people were worried about traffic and drainage, so
Right.
we don't want to say, oh, we don't have to worry about it today in 5 years because we made decisions today, we're impacting them. But obviously you got a lot of land, so you could add on again. All right, I'm good on that, and then I guess it goes back to engineering. So, and this is, I think, just to alleviate people, we don't currently have detention under the parking, so we're adding detention under the parking. So if anything, it's just only going to improve drainage here to do what it should do for 2025 standards, correct? So it's not going to make anything worse. If anything, it may help alleviate any existing issues and make them better. Okay,
Thank you, John.
thanks.
Commissioner Schussler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question, well, first of all, I think I can clarify something. I was over there a couple of hours ago, and this detention pond that everybody's talking about in the back, there are 2 catch basins at the bottom of it at the west end. In fact, that light color there is concrete.
Okay, here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on either end of that concrete, there is a grate and a catch basin underneath. But on the one that's on the south end, there's a pipe that either empties into it or takes water out of it. I'm guessing because there's 2 catch basins that are flat at the bottom, that's where the water goes out. So that must be something that's putting water in. And what I'm talking about is a pipe that runs down here somewhere, and it empties out right there. There's a head of it right there on top of that one catch basin. And it seems to run this way down here. What is that? Does that put water into the detention basin or take it out of the detention
So
basin?
you guys can hear me, right? That pipe that runs south from that concrete thing,
Yes.
that's taking water into the basin. That concrete ledge is called the spillway. It'll collect all the water. And then right behind that, you can kind of see how there's that yellow kind of radius and then there's a little dot right above it? Yes, so that is the outlet control structure. So that concrete thing will collect water and go into that manhole, which has the restrictor, which Orland Hills made that pipe coming out of that structure too small. So that's what, it's designed to back up. It was designed too small, but that pipe you're talking about that goes south feeds water into that basin.
Into the basin,
Yes.
okay, all right. Okay, my only major concern has to do with a statement in the staff report under pedestrian and bicycle mobility. And sidewalks are for safety. Well, for when you talk about sidewalks around a school, it's a safety issue. I'm talking about the last statement, last sentence in there. It says, a sidewalk connection at the northwest corner of O'Brien Drive and 88th Avenue could not be provided due to existing topography, drainage conditions, and the current parking lot layout. Future site improvements should consider adding a sidewalk connection in this area. So we have 2 engineers here. We have maybe 3 engineers. We've got the Manhart people. We've got our village engineer. What exactly is the issue there since you come on up, and I'm going to have one other statement. The parking lot is going to be ripped up significantly to put in this underground drainage structure.
Yes.
So why can't, while that's being done, the corner be fixed up so that the sidewalk connects?
The issue is the existing slope in that sidewalk and in that street, it is too steep, so there is no possible way we could make that ADA compliant. We had to bring it north a little bit because that existing portion of the street and that existing portion of the sidewalk is within ADA slope tolerances. So there is no way to make that connection south comply with the ADA code without basically ripping up the entire street and redoing the whole roadway, which
It looked to me like there wasn't that much of a grade difference. It depends upon at what elevation are you going to put the 88th Street new sidewalk?
I don't have the elevations on me. I think we sent over a grading plan, but it was more so about the cross slopes. We were concerned that that orientation we have there is the most ADA compliant.
Well, I'm looking at a diagram or a picture of it, and it looked like all you'd have to do is take out that wing wall and raise the sidewalk on the west side a little bit, and you'd kind of come up to the right level along 88th. This is the wing wall. You want to take a look over here?
Has the petitioner specified that to you, why they're doing it, ADA compliance?
Yeah, that's correct. So.
And they specified it to you, and you're accepting of that explanation?
Yeah, so there was a lot of back and forth about even installing a sidewalk to begin with.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Gentlemen? Could you just listen for a second, because I asked, you explained all this to the Development Department, and they were accepting of your explanation, but please continue.
Yeah, so as part of the special use permit, we asked for the addition of the sidewalk, and there was a lot of back and forth about installing it. So based on weaving around the existing trees and making sure that it was ADA compliant. So this was like our kind of middle ground, was at least we're getting a sidewalk along the full way. If someone was going west through to get to O'Brien Drive, they can always cut through the parking lot, at least at this time, without having to build any new retaining walls or switchbacks or anything like that on the corner.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ed. Anything else?
I have nothing further.
Anything else? Okay. Righty. Well, we've, pardon? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Dan, I know you're out there on the phone. Did you have any questions, Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just say, about 35 years ago, I actually went to the school. It's kind of crazy to think about. But, reading this plan and everything, presented by the staff, I think it sounds like a pretty good project, so I have no further questions.
Okay, well, thanks, Dan. I think we've had a pretty thorough discussion. A lot of good points were raised, and I think a lot of the concerns of the residents around the school have been adequately addressed. And so I have nothing more to add. So I would, at this point, entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Schuessler,
regarding case number, what's the correct number?
isn't it 0807?
Okay. 2024-0807, also known as Fernley Park Elementary School Expansion Special Use Permit. Move to approve the staff recommended action as presented in the staff report to the Plan Commission for this case.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Schuessler, seconded by Commissioner Sanchez. All in favor?
Aye.
Take a roll call vote on this one.
Yeah, it's a good idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, we'll take a roll call on it. We'll start with Commissioner Sanchez.
Aye.
Commissioner Zatar. Commissioner Paul.
Aye.
Commissioner Zamparelli.
Aye.
Commissioner Nugent.
Aye.
Commissioner Schussler.
Aye.
Chairman Parisi, aye. Okay, well, great, and thank you for all your hard work. And thanks to people from the public for your input and for attending. So, I don't think there's any other business. Yeah, I know. Okay, no other concerns, so at this point, I'll move that we close public hearing.
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schussler, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, no, you take the trouble to come out, or you're darn right we're gonna listen to you. All righty.
Bye-bye.
Good luck, all.
We adjourn. Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Okay, since we've already made a motion to adjourn, but I move that we close public hearings.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, sorry, guys. All righty, thank you all. Go home and have some dinner.